story. Last day here of 2018, I thought I'd make a video. I just had a couple things I just wanted to share. So anyway, here goes. A few days ago, I guess it was like Friday, a couple days ago, I lost the charm off of my necklace. So this little cross here. And anybody that knows me has probably seen this necklace because I've literally worn it for 16 years. Which is weird, but hey, I'm weird. So I scarcely ever take it off. Although this year my pageant sisters, they convinced me that certain outfits need different accessories. So they did convince me to take it off a couple times. So other than that though, it's been on my neck, around my neck for 16 years. Every one of my little kids have broken it when they were toddlers, just pulling on it, pulling on me with their little hands. But I got it in Mexico. I guess it was like 2002, while hanging out with some orphans and learning a lot about life and love from them and from other Christians that were there. And, orphans always kind of have a way of teaching us things we couldn't learn any other way. But the necklace is kind of like a part of me now. It's a daily reminder of who I am and who I really want to be. So I'm kind of attached to it, or maybe it's attached to me. I don't know. So anyway, I realized my cross was missing. And I remembered that I had heard something dropping in the other room earlier when I was getting ready in my bedroom. I had heard something hit the floor, but I wasn't sure what it was or where it went or anything. So I thought back and I thought, oh, I bet it's in there. So I went back to see if it was there. And after crawling around on the floor for a few minutes, I did find it. Thank the Lord, because I would have been sad if I didn't find it. But as I attempted to reattach it to my necklace on my knees on the floor, it occurred to me that this was exactly where God wanted me to be. That's where he put me in that moment. And I just knew that God wanted my attention. And I knew why. It was because, in days past, more recent days mostly, I have been so unwilling to just give him my attention. In fact, I've done the opposite. I've been purposefully avoiding him in those intimate settings, like prayer. But right then and there, the Lord broke my spirit of resentment and anger, and I believe he spoke to me. God, he's given me some great days in 2018, and I've gotten to do things that I never thought I would get to do or even knew that I wanted to do. Just great days, great experiences, and just been so blessed. Truly, truly blessed. But he's also given me some terrible days. And I think we all kind of experience both in any given week, month, or year. But I've experienced fears and feelings that I never thought I'd have to. But if there's one thing that I think that I'm learning, and you kind of, when you're growing, you kind of sometimes can kind of feel yourself growing a little bit, or at least you hope that you are. But I think that what the Lord is teaching me, or has been trying to teach me in my old age here, finally, is that it really, truly is a choice which things we see in our lives. Like, we can wallow in self-pity and sadness, or we can walk in freedom and faith, and just knowing that God is ever extending that to us. And it's a choice. It's been a hard, difficult, painful lesson for me to learn, because we get stuck in ruts, and it's easy to just feel like, you know, I'm just giving up. I don't need to try, and it doesn't matter anyway, and nobody cares, and, you know, it's just not the truth. It's just not the truth. So I want to live in the truth, and I want to be better and make better choices, especially about my own issues and my own thoughts, because that's what's going to help me live a better life and be a better person to others as well. So I'm down on my knees, crossing my hand, and I just realized how many times this year I have so desperately needed God and so absolutely refused to talk to Him, because I was mad and scared and bitter and hurt. You know, you expect certain things, and it's very human. It's not spiritual, it's not biblical, but it's human to want better circumstances. But down there on the floor, I saw Him, and I saw Him in a million ways like I had never seen Him before. And He allowed me to see Him in others, in other people, in the things that, the blessings that I have been given by them, the words of encouragement that I have been given by them, and just the inspiration that I have seen in other people that were rightly serving God. So, you know, it just reminded me about, 13 years ago or so, I wrote an autobiography of sorts. It was my first attempt at writing a book, and I never even had it bound or anything. But I wrote the whole thing in about 2 weeks. I just sat down and said, I'm going to write, and I wrote, and it was called Seeing God in the People You Know. And I was looking for ways throughout my life that God had shown up, mainly in other people or even things. And by the time that it was finished, I was just amazed at how much I had seen Him in so many people and so many places, and how easy it was to write about and remember. I mean, it just renewed, I guess, my faith and my trust in Him when I did that. But again, that was like a long time ago. But I was reminded of that, recently. And it's kind of always been my dream to kind of compile an unabridged version with, pictures and like all the people I know, and like the rest of the world can see like who they are, because they're so valuable, and so amazing. And I just would like to share that with those that don't know them, or maybe even with them. Maybe they don't even know who they are to others, But anyway, it's kind of a pipe dream. Maybe one day. We'll see. I better get started on it, but fortunately I don't know that many people, so. But sometimes we have to look for God. Sometimes He's not that easy to see. And so many times, like, I'm so frustrated when He's just quiet, and He just stays quiet. And I just feel like I'm all alone in this wilderness. Like, can you just say something? Just something, anything, And sometimes you just don't hear it. But maybe it's our listening. I don't know. Then other times, He just shows up and punches us square in the face and hits us, with His power and His glory and His just care for us. And sometimes He uses prayer. And I could tell you like so many amazing stories about how God has used prayer to show me His power and His glory. I'm talking about New Testament signs and wonders that I didn't know that he still performed and certainly never expected to experience. And I'm not even a good prayer at all. Never have been. Always been a struggle. So that's all grace. But anyway, sometimes God uses prayer, and sometimes he uses people to show us his power and glory. Prayer and people. I don't care what any religion or religious person might tell me. Prayer and people, that's what knowing God is all about. At the end of the day, that's it. And that's all knowing God has ever been about. But, you know, the Lord knows that I have spent the majority of my life desperate to either be or become, however that works, one of those people. Not ever realizing that I am already one of those people. Apart from any accomplishment or antecedent, I am a person that God will use because I am a person who wants God to use her. And that's the only prerequisite. Yet most of my overused and grieving prayers have always been, convict me, impart wisdom to me, and use me. Just use me. Some days that's the only thing I say to God. And, you know, it's not good because I just feel desperate. Like, I don't have anything else to say, God. That's the only thing I want in my life. And it just seems like you won't give it to me. But that's how I felt for a long time. And I sat around moping, never believing that he would or really was using me at all. Just being mad because he wouldn't, or I didn't think he was. But I know that he has, because that's not the truth that I was thinking and believing. I know that he is, and I know that he will. You know, and fear just comes and tells me that all my efforts and hopes and dreams are for naught. Useless, foolish, you know, strange even. But faith says that he has, is, and will use me mightily if I just trust and obey him. And so with that said, I want to encourage you today on this last day of the year. Don't let another year end without looking for the cross. Don't let another year begin without getting down on your knees and praying to the only one who sees and knows you rightly. Because, you know, you might not see what I see. I want you to hear me when I tell you who you are, because this is what God said to me. What he told me to tell you and tell myself, no matter how I feel personally about myself on any given day. God wants us to encourage one another. Down on my knees there, I thought of so many encouraging words that have been said to me personally over the past month. Words that I long to hear from an actual person. Words that truly scooped my heart up off the floor and healed it. So listen to these words and drink them in. They're about you, not your neighbor or your friend or your sister or your priest. These words are about you and me and who we actually are in Christ. So we need to believe them and listen and live accordingly. When I see you, I see a human trying really hard to be different and to make a difference. I see honor and grace and love. I see quite a few amazing God-given gifts. I see virtue, compassion, and genuine care and concern. I see a person who is able to bring everything dead in me alive. I see a friend and a confidant. I see a star, a hero, a warrior. Don't you ever sell yourself short. Don't ever settle for less than what you dream. God gave you those dreams. Give God the glory, but give yourself a real hand. You made it. You might not be where you want to be, but you have every single right, resource, and reason right inside yourself to get there. You inspire me. I love who you are, and I love who you're going to be. Be kind to yourself. Don't worry. God has built you into a person who possesses a great deal of power and strength. I see you using it daily. I'm a better person because I know you. Countless people are. Keep being exactly who you are. You're so much better than you think. For God has not destined us for wrath, but to obtain salvation through our Lord Jesus Christ, who died for us, so that whether we are awake or asleep, we might live in him. Therefore, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. 1 Thessalonians 5:11. So my word for this year is encouragement. I have been given so much more encouragement than I deserve, and I've shamefully so often failed to offer it rightly to others. But this year, God willing, I'm going to give it back 100-fold. So, prayer and people. Let's do that, 2019.